for males and females. And I was a project coordinator on a Federal Department of Labor grant that was designed to help move more women into the auto service industry. And also I served as an assessment/placement specialist for a pre-apprenticeship training program for women, where I helped women break into and succeed in skilled jobs in the trades. I also served as a career expert for Monster.com, hosting the Women in Nontraditional Careers message board. And it's a pleasure to be here today with you. So let's take a look at the learning objectives for today. So in the next 45 minutes, you will discover the strategies, secrets, tips, and ideas to increase gender equity in your CTE classroom. And feel free to jot any comments in the chat box as we go along. So you're going to examine how gender equity issues relate to career decision making and what you can do to even the balance. You're going to have an opportunity to explore how you can use self-studies to assess yourself, your classroom, and your school for gender equity and learn some easy fixes. And toward the end, you're going to have a chance to review a case study and discover some simple ways to increase non-traditional enrollment. So let's take a look at the definition of non-traditional careers. Basically, they're those where one gender makes up less than 25% of those employed in that field or occupation. So a non-traditional occupation is either female-dominated or male-dominated. Now here are just a few examples of non-traditional CTE programs at the secondary level. Ag science and horticulture are considered non-traditional for females, where fashion design and accounting are considered non-traditional for males. And there are many others as well. Post-secondary non-traditional CTE programs for males include dental assisting, accounting, early childhood education, licensed practical nursing, and paralegal. There are lots of other programs that lead to careers, non-traditional careers such as occupational therapy, administrative assistant, and many, many more. Non-traditional CTE programs for females at the post-secondary level include aircraft maintenance technology, carpentry, biomedical technology, CAD or computer-aided drafting, and computer programming. Some other programs leading to careers, non-traditional careers, include electrician, auto mechanic, and again, many, many more. This is just a sample. Next, let's dive into the challenges for those considering a non-traditional career. There are two big reasons males and females may not consider a non-traditional career, and they include socialization and gender stereotypes. First, let's take a look at socialization. Now, starting from an early age, girls are given dolls to play with, and boys trucks and trains. Socialization continues throughout a child's early life. Growing up, boys are given duties such as mowing the lawn and taking out the trash, where girls are expected to help wash dishes and clean the house. Now, thinking back to your childhood, does that sound familiar? I know it does for me. Socialization continues into adulthood, where females are typically the primary caregiver for their children and the ones who take care of the laundry and do the grocery shopping, while males are expected to mow the lawn and fix things around the house. Socialization leads to gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes occur when we assign certain attributes, opinions, or roles to a specific gender. For example, gender stereotypes for males include, male is typically seen as a major breadwinner, where a female is typically seen as the primary caregiver for her children. Now, we are seeing a shift where some men are staying at home to care for their children, while many women are becoming the major breadwinner for their family. Now, other stereotypes for men are that they're considered the CEOs, the engineers, and women are often seen as the nurses or the teachers. What I'd like to have you do is type in the chat box, what are some other gender stereotypes associated with males or females? So when you think of males or females and gender stereotypes or gender roles, what do you see for males and what do you see for females? And I come up with some other ideas. So how about females being seen as emotional, or males seen as strong, but they don't want to ask for help. They don't want to ask for directions. Or some other gender stereotypes for females are they're often seen as submissive or maybe quiet, neat, clean. Or gender stereotypes for males, maybe they're seen as aggressive. They don't show emotion. They're loud. They're messy. They're athletic. They're math and science oriented. So overall, gender stereotypes impact a student's career choice. Females tend to be clustered in career programs that prepare them for low-wage careers. Females tend to gravitate toward pink-collar jobs such as nurse or administrative assistant, while males most often pursue careers traditional for their gender. Now let's take a look at a video that's trying to get across the message that we need to expose girls to non-traditional careers earlier in life. Now, you're probably not going to be able to hear any sound, but no one's talking on the video, so don't be alarmed. I don't know about you, but that looks like a lot of fun. Okay. Wasn't that a good video? Yeah, I think it's so important to expose young girls to, expose females to different career options, different interests early in life. Recently, I was watching the television show Shark Tank, and it was fascinating. There was two people that were pitching their product. It was a new toy for kids that was STEM-related, science, technology, engineering, and math. Very interesting. Okay, so let's move on. So let's take a look at the top 6 reasons why females should consider a non-traditional career. And one reason is higher pay. Non-traditional careers typically pay 20 to 30% higher for females than the traditional jobs that they pursue. And here's a chart that illustrates the dramatic difference in earnings over the course of a lifetime. So let's take a look at a traditional career which a female may pursue, such as child care worker, where she's earning just a little over $9 an hour. And over the course of a year, that's just under $20,000. Now, over her lifetime, that's $772,400 that she's earning in that career. Now, compare that to a non-traditional career as an electrician, where she's earning just under $24 an hour, which makes that just under $50,000 a year. And over the course of 40 years, that's $1.9 million. Wow, in this illustration, the difference in earnings between a traditional and a non-traditional career is over $1.2 million. Wow, what a difference that can make in a female being self-sufficient or not. Plus, the job outlook for electricians is good. It's growing at a faster than average rate. It's expected to grow 19% from 2012 to 2022. Now, I don't want to discourage anyone from certain occupations like child care. Child care can be a stepping stone to other career pathways. So let's go back a slide here. So another reason females should consider a non-traditional career, along with higher pay, typically comes better benefits, and who doesn't want that? And also, another reason is for career ladders. For example, apprenticeships offer an opportunity to earn while you learn. The more skills you learn, the more money you earn. Non-traditional careers offer females more job opportunities, and not just those traditional for her career. And, of course, expanded skills, too. And then career satisfaction. That's the #1 reason for a female to consider a non-traditional career, basing career choice on interest and aptitude, not on gender stereotypes. I have a friend who went to school to become a drafter, and she's worked in the engineering department. Now she's a senior designer for probably 30 years, and she absolutely loves it. She would not want a job where she's, sitting in one place all day, sitting behind a desk. She loves the fact that she can get up, move around, go out into the manufacturing plant. She loves that type of work. And so that's why it's really important for students to become aware of all of their career options. So what are some other reasons that you think females should consider a non-traditional career? If you can think of any, go ahead and type them in the chat box. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at the top 6 reasons males should consider a non-traditional career. One reason is good salary and advancement opportunities. Many non-traditional careers for males offer a good salary. For example, the median salary for registered nurses is about $65,000 a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Not bad. And as far as advancement opportunities, it's fascinating. Males working in a female-dominated career typically advance faster than women in that same career. This phenomenon is called the glass escalator effect. The nursing and education fields are flooded with women. However, when you look at the top, it's often men that hold the executive level positions. Many non-traditional careers for males offer a flexible schedule, which can be very helpful for married couples who want to juggle childcare responsibilities without needing to hire outside help. One can work days, the other evenings. And many careers in healthcare and education are portable, meaning if one wants to relocate, the odds there will be jobs available elsewhere is great. Being aware and open to non-traditional careers offer males broader job opportunities, that is, more careers to choose from. And many of these jobs are in high demand. For example, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the job outlook for dental assistants and health information technicians is growing at a much faster rate than average. The need for nurses is growing at a faster than average rate. According to the National Alliance for Partnerships and Equity, female-dominated careers offer males three main advantages: job security, public sector employment that reflects public sector values, and room to pursue interests and commitments outside of work. Men in non-traditional careers indicate an interest in working with people. Since many female-dominated jobs are service-oriented and focus on helping, teaching, nurturing, and healing others, some men may find more satisfaction working in a non-traditional career. So those are the top 7 reasons males should consider a non-traditional career. Okay, let's move on. So what are the benefits of increasing non-traditional enrollment? Well, first of all, it can help meet your Perkins CTE goals. Very important. And another benefit is you will help students make a career choice based on interest and aptitude, not gender stereotypes. Increasing recruitment will help females achieve a higher socioeconomic status. The chart we reviewed earlier illustrated the dramatic difference in earnings of a pink-collar career versus a non-traditional career. Also, a diverse workforce is important for the United States to remain globally competitive. Females and males both bring different talents, different ways of thinking, and problem solving to the workplace, and all of them are valuable to a company. So what are some other benefits of increasing recruitment and retention? Okay, let's move on. So what I'd like to have you do, if you have it available, I'd like you to pull out the What Are My Values and Beliefs quiz. So pull that out right now if you have it handy. You may have had a chance to complete it, maybe not. But let's take a look at question number 2. And I want to mention, too, that if you've been helping students consider a non-traditional career for some time now, some of these questions may seem out of date. It's interesting, though, that last week I was at a community college in Pennsylvania talking about non-traditional careers. And the Perkins coordinator, who is very new to her position there, was a high school counselor previously, and she had been that a number of years in West Virginia. And she had said, that as a counselor, high school counselor, she didn't even think about talking to students about non-traditional career options. It wasn't even on her radar. So when we take a look at question number 2, do I ever discourage a girl from going after a career such as carpentry or engineering in which there are few women? Now, while she didn't discourage them, she didn't encourage them either because it wasn't even on her radar, which is very interesting. And if we take a look at question number 4, do I react, perhaps feel funny inside, when I hear that a boy wants to pursue a career as a nurse or become a secretary or administrative assistant? Would I discourage such aspirations in a boy? Now, we might not discourage someone, but, if we're honest with ourselves, maybe sometimes we do feel funny inside. I can admit that I sometimes do, and I've been doing this type of work for a long time. And I think the reason that, I feel funny inside, or someone else might, is just because we haven't perhaps seen, very many males as a administrative assistant. So just a good quiz to kind of, take a look at, kind of reflect on, how do we feel? How would we answer these questions? There's some areas that we need to take a closer look at, maybe and maybe not. And who else could I share this with? Okay, so let's move on. So now we're going to dive into some outreach strategies. So how can we get the word out about non-traditional career programs? So the first strategy we'll take a look at is to reach out to the teachers in feeder schools, specifically those for those enrolled in courses and programs that could lead to a non-traditional career. So what are some high schools that you could reach out to? Also, reach out to workforce centers. They're called something different in every state, but what used to be called the unemployment offices. And reach out to them to promote your non-traditional programs, to job counselors. Those folks are going to be interacting with people on a daily basis about career options. And also reach out to community-based organizations that serve males and females. Next, invite undecided students or undeclared students to your program. Consider sending a personal invitation. Next, encourage students to recruit friends. There's strength in numbers. Isolation is one of the main reasons a non-traditional student may drop out of a class or program. Be sure to make counselors and recruiters aware that your school or college encourages the recruitment of non-traditional students. Educate counselors and college recruiters and other staff and prospective students as to what non-traditional careers are and the benefits. Encourage counselors to job shadow so they know what a job really entails and can see that both women and men can do the different types of work. Also encourage them not to limit a student's career choice based on gender. So if they're meeting with a male student who is laid off and needs to retool, encourage them to explore non-traditional career opportunities. I want to share a little story. My husband used to be an aircraft maintenance technician, a mechanic. And about 6 or 7 years ago, he and thousands of others were laid off. And he needed to retool. He needed to go back to school to learn something else because he wasn't willing to move to California where there could possibly be more jobs doing what he did. So he actually went back for a 2-year degree as a surgical technologist. And while on the outside that may look, like what are the similarities, it is interesting. He went from a male-dominated career to a female-dominated career. He works with a lot of nurses who happen to be female. And so on the outside, it may look very dissimilar, but actually both careers require using tools to do the work and working with other people, teamwork. So there is some similarity. So as counselors or other folks are talking to people that may need to retool, and maybe their industry or their field is kind of, being outsourced or downsized, help them explore different career opportunities as well. So let's take a look at the next 3 slides. slides, which provide a great example of careers, female and male dominated, that use similar skills. So the first one is registered nurses and civil engineers. You'll see on the chart that both of them, registered nurses is female dominated, which civil engineers is male dominated, but they use very similar skills. Reading comprehension, writing, learning strategies, installation, troubleshooting. It's fascinating. And construction managers and meeting and convention planners also use very similar skills. Construction managers is male-dominated career, where meeting and convention planners is a female-dominated career. And then finally, this illustrates similarity in skills for firefighters, which is male-dominated, and personal and home care aides, which is female-dominated career. Pretty eye-opening. So think about at your college, what programs do you offer that may be currently male-dominated or female-dominated? What ones use similar skills? And as you're talking to students, how can you use that information to help them see, that there are some different career options that they may not have considered in the past? Okay. So another outreach strategy is to host a meet and greet where prospective students can meet with counselors to hear them talk about scholarships, child care, and financial aid. Current students enrolled in the program can share what they've learned in their program, and graduates can share their experience working in a non-traditional field. You could have non-traditional videos playing in the background, and you could promote your event with flyers, and I'll share some other ways in a little bit how you could promote an event. Provide postcards to instructors to personally invite prospective students, and you could consider providing pizza and a beverage. I think food always helps. Okay, so let's move on to the next strategy, recruitment strategies. And we'll take a look at parental engagement. It's really important to provide non-traditional career information to parents, which can include what non-traditional careers are, because a lot of parents have no idea what that means. Examples, job descriptions, salary information, and scholarships that lead to non-traditional careers. And then also consider sponsoring a parents' meeting to showcase CTE. Provide food and child care, if you can afford it. Invite local employers, and if they employ parents, ask them to promote the event internally. Reach out to churches and ask them to spread the word. For parents who can't make it, think about other ways to get them this information. For example, send them an information sheet on the importance of CTE and non-traditional careers, along with some graduate success stories. If your school or college has a large percentage of English language learners, consider promoting the event in another language. What are some other strategies you've used to engage parents? If you have any ideas, go ahead and type them in the chat box. I know one college held a career exploration event and specifically invited moms to attend with their daughters so that moms could learn more about non-traditional careers. I think that's a great idea. Okay, let's take a look at the next recruitment strategy, which is marketing. Market your classes or programs by offering special courses or a career expo or camp so students can get a taste of what a non-traditional career would be like. This can lead to increased interest, which can lead to increased enrollment and participation. Let's take a look at how you can market your career expo. One way is to promote it on the high school marquee or your college marquee. You could send a text message out to students or parents, have an automated phone recording that goes out. You could put it on the intercom announcement at your school or college. Also put out social media posts for your, for example, on your Facebook page for your college or school. You could use the campus TV to promote it. Again, send postcards out, which I mentioned a little earlier, or also send out an email. You could also use videos to promote your non-traditional CTE programs. I would encourage you to have students create videos of other students succeeding in the program that you offer and graduates of the program working in a non-traditional career. You could post the videos on your college's website, Facebook page, YouTube channel if you have it. You could use these videos during high school enrollment and at a career open house. The next strategy we're going to talk about is role models. You could use role models to help market your classes and programs. The role models could be those working in a non-traditional career. This can be done at high school enrollment or a career open house. Folks that can serve as a positive role model include teachers, parents, community members, older students, or recent graduates. Ask the speakers to share what got them interested in a non-traditional career, the challenges of a non-traditional career along with the benefits, and what a typical day looks like. Role models is a #1 recruitment strategy. Students need to see someone that looks like them in a career before they're likely to consider it for themselves. So let's take a look at some examples of print marketing. So here's an example of promoting a college, depicting a female being successful. For example, in this example, electronics technology. So using a female as a role model in your marketing materials. Here's another example. I think this is pretty powerful. Are you man enough to be a nurse? Isn't that a cool poster? And these posters you can purchase too. And here's a brochure that you could replicate where it shows, interest in becoming a licensed practical nurse. You could have, the salary, wages. Also, this shows the employment outlook. You could have this updated with the current Bureau of Labor Statistics information. Talks about the working conditions, and it shows a male in the brochure, which again can be very powerful. And here is a website. This is from a college in northwestern Minnesota. There's a lot of colleges now that are using their website to promote non-traditional careers. This one, what is a non-traditional career, gives the definition, and it talks about the programs that they offer that are non-traditional for men and ones that are non-traditional for women. They also talk about, they have a page that says, what our students say about the programs. And another one that spotlights some specific students. How did your interest in your career choice begin? It's really powerful. So I really encourage you, if you don't already, use role models, use your marketing materials, your different venues like Facebook to market your non-traditional programs. I really encourage you to start doing that. Okay, so before we dive into the case study, this is just a summary. Gender stereotypes limit career choices. There are a lot of benefits, which we talked about, to increasing gender diversity. There's benefits to the economy, benefits to your college or school, and a lot of benefits to the students. And as you saw, many male and female-dominated careers have very similar skill profiles. And I think it's important to identify at your college what programs do you offer that have similar profiles to others that may be male or female-dominated. And getting parents engaged can help increase recruitment. And marketing, which we just talked about, can really help increase enrollment of the non-traditional CTE student. So next, let's take a look at a case study. First of all, though, here's a few points to keep in mind. Have you encountered a similar situation at your school or college? If so, how did you handle it? And based on what we discussed today, what are some things you would do? So here's the case study. Enrollment is low in the LPN program at your college. During your employment at the college, typically there have been very, very few males in the program. What are some things you can do to help increase the enrollment of males into this program? So based on what we talked about today, or also based on some things that maybe you've done in the past, what are some things that you would do to increase enrollment? Now, I'll share a couple ideas that I have. One would be to partner with a local high school to offer a career day or career expo at your college. At the career day, offer a tour of your program area. Ask male graduates of the program to share their experience working as an LPN. You could create flyers and distribute it at local high schools and at your college. Ask the high school to announce the event over the loudspeaker. Ask the high school to email and mail parents of high schoolers about the event. And invite parents to attend too. Another idea is to have students create a YouTube video talking about the nursing program and use a link on your college's website and even your Facebook page. So it's really important to incorporate Facebook and other social media because that's where a lot of students go to get information. And ask students to conduct interviews with male graduates of the program and post photos of students in the program on your school or department's Facebook page. Another strategy is to increase enrollment is to encourage your male students to recruit friends to join the program. Again, there's strength in numbers. So what are some other strategies you think you could incorporate to increase enrollment of males into this program? Another strategy that I thought of is to promote your program at places where males frequent. So where do males hang out? Where would they see your promotional piece? Promote your program in the sports section of your local newspaper. You could create a brochure, which I showed earlier, depicting a male in the role as an LPN. So there's a lot of different ways that you can promote your CTE program. So taking action, we've covered several easy-to-implement outreach and recruitment strategies. So some questions for you to consider. What is your key insight or takeaway from this presentation? Or perhaps, what did you relearn? how will you use this information? It's great to learn something new, but it's really important to put that information into action. What steps will you take within the next 90 days to help increase your non-traditional enrollment? And finally, who else could benefit from this information? With which of your colleagues will you share this information? So thank you for your time today. We'll have a few minutes left and I can answer any questions. And I wanted to let everyone know, too, that next week at this same time, there will be another webinar that will be geared at increasing retention, increasing non-traditional retention. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Joan. We have a couple minutes for some questions if anybody in the audience has any questions for Joan. All right, so it doesn't seem like we have any questions, Joan. So on behalf of the Technical Assistance Center, thank you for your presentation today. And as a reminder to everyone listening, this webinar will be archived and available for viewing at nyctecenter.org.